At this time, I would like to introduce Megan and Jason Contreras, who will read the names of the 531 fallen first responders that have made the supreme sacrifice protecting us.
Good morning. I'm going to start with the 2008 Charleston 9, the first ride to honor these fallen heroes. Captain Louis Mulkey, Captain Mike Benke, Firefighter Melvin Champagne, Captain William Billy Hutchinson, Engineer Bradford Brad Beatty, Firefighter James Earl Drayton, Engineer Mark Kelsey, Engineer Michael French, and Firefighter Brandon Thompson. 2009. Officer Andrew Widman, Fort Myers Police Department, Florida. 2010. Captain James Harlow, Houston Fire Department, Texas. Firefighter Damon Hobbs, Houston Fire Department, Texas. 2011. Officer David Curtis, Tampa Police Department, Florida. Officer Jeffrey Kokab, Tampa Police Department, Florida. Canine Roscoe, Fort Myers Police Department, Florida. The 2011 ride also honored 411 emergency first responders who perished in the New York Twin Towers. That included 343 firefighters, 23 New York police officers, 37 Port Authority officers, and 8 emergency services personnel. 2012. Detective Roger Castillo, Miami-Dade Police Department, Florida. Detective Amanda Haworth, Miami-Dade Police Department, Florida. Firefighter William Elliott, Pompano Beach Fire, Florida. Deputy Matt Miller, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Officer Arnolfo Crispin, Lakeland Police Department, Florida. Forest Ranger Josh Birch, Florida Division of Forestry. Forest Ranger Brett Fulton, Florida Division of Forestry. Deputy John Mecklenburg, Hernando County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Sergeant Tom Batinger, St. Petersburg Police Department, Florida. Officer David Crawford, St. Petersburg Police Department, Florida. And Officer Jeffrey Yazlowitz, St. Petersburg Police Department, Florida. 2013. Detective David White, Clay County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Deputy Sheriff Barbara Pill, Brevard County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Sergeant Reuben Thomas, Florida Department of Corrections. Fire Chief Kenny Fox, Decatur County Fire Department, Tennessee. Engineer Chris Manguso, Broward County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Police Officer Bruce St. Lauren, Jupiter Police Department, Florida. Deputy Sheriff Christopher Schwab, Broward County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Police Officer Chris Young, Prince William County Police Department, Virginia. 2014. Lieutenant Gregory Pickard, Bryan Fire Department, Texas. Lieutenant Eric Wallace, Bryan Fire Department, Texas. Captain Kenneth Harris Jr., Dallas Fire Rescue, Texas. Captain Douglas Snookhouse, West Fire Department, Texas. Captain Robert Snookhouse, West Fire Department, Texas. Firefighter Morris Bridges, West Fire Department, Texas. Firefighter Perry Calvin, Navarro Mills Fire Department, Texas. Firefighter Jerry Chapman, Abbott Fire Department, Texas. Firefighter Cody Dragoo, West Fire Department, Texas. Firefighter Jimmy Matus, West Fire Department, Texas. Firefighter Joey Pusajovsky, West Fire Department, Texas. Firefighter Cyrus Reed, Abbott Fire Department, Texas. Firefighter Kevin Sanders, Bruceville Eddy Fire Department, Texas. Firefighter Buck Upmore, West Fire Department, Texas. Firefighter Stanley Wilson, Dallas Fire Rescue, Texas. Captain Matthew Renaud, Houston Fire Department, Texas. Engineer Operator Robert Beebe, Houston Fire Department, Texas. Firefighter Robert Gardner, Houston Fire Department, Texas. Firefighter Ann Sullivan, Houston Fire Department, Texas. Sergeant Gary Morales, St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Deputy Sheriff Daniel Rivera, Broward County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Master Deputy Sheriff Joseph Shane Robbins, Polk County Sheriff's Office, Florida. And Sergeant Mike Wilson, Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, Florida.
2015, Officer Robert German, Windermere Police Department, Florida. Homer J.R. Harrell, Orange City Fire Department, Florida. Police Officer Charles Kondick, Tarpon Springs Police Department, Florida. Officer Mark H. Larson, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, Florida. Jeffrey B. Newland, Northport Fire Rescue, Florida. Deputy Sheriff Jonathan Scott Pine, Orange County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Trooper Chelsea Richard, Florida Highway Patrol. Deputy Sheriff Christopher Smith, Leon County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Roger D. Tome, Kennedy Space Center Fire and Rescue, Florida. K-9 Barton, St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Officer Anthony Champion, Peripolis Borough Police Department. Firefighter Joyce M. Craig Lewis, Philadelphia Fire Department. Corporal Brian Keith Dixon II, Pennsylvania State Police. Trooper David Kedra, Pennsylvania State Police. Firefighter Edwin Lance J. Wenzel, Youngwood Volunteer Fire Department. Lieutenant Gordon Matt M. Embellis, Fire Department, City of New York. Bridge and Tunnel Officer Thomas Choi, Triborough Bridge and Tunnel Authority Police. Detective Dennis Guerrera, New York City Police Department. Detective Wenjane Liu, New York City Police Department. Officer Daryl R. Pearson, Rochester Police Department. Detective Rafael Ramos, New York City Police Department. Firefighter Joseph Jr. Sanford, Jr., Inwood Fire Department. Trooper Christopher Skinner, New York State Police. Officer David W. Smith, Johnson City Police Department. Officer Michael Williams, New York City Police Department. Captain Gregory D. Barnes, Wallington Fire Department. Officer Christopher M. Goddell, Waldwick Police Department. Firefighter Cosmo Paris, Cliffside Fire Department. Officer Stephen Petrozello, Cliffside Park Police Department. Detective Melvin Santiago, Jersey City Police Department. Firefighter James J. Woods, Jersey City Fire Department. Firefighter Kevin L. Bell, Hartford Fire Department. Officer Sean Collier, Massachusetts Institute for Technology. Firefighter Michael R. Kennedy, Boston Fire Department. Officer Gregory T. Maloney, Plymouth Police Department. Officer Dennis Oliver Simmons, Boston Police Department. Lieutenant Edward J. Walsh, Boston Fire Department. 2016, Deputy Sheriff William J. Myers, Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Police Officer Jared J. Forsyth, Ocala Police Department, Florida. Lieutenant Randy Parker, Macon-Bibb County Fire Department, Georgia. K-9 Igor, Kissimmee Police Department, Florida. K-9 Jimmy, Hialeah Police Department, Florida. K-9 Hector, Hialeah Police Department, Florida. And the 2017 ride is in honor of Deputy Sheriff Ricky Anderson, Polk County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Chief David Dangerfield, Indian River County Fire Rescue, Florida. Lieutenant Randall M. Donaldson Jr., Osceola County Fire Rescue, Florida. Deputy Sheriff John Robert Cotfilla Jr., Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Police Officer Henry Malcolm McAleen Jr., Miami-Dade Police Department, Florida. Firefighter Jonathan D. McNeil, Palm Beach County Fire and Rescue, Florida. Engineer Paul A. Petrofessa, Coral Springs Fire Department, Florida. Major George Sanchez, Miami Police Department, Florida. Engineer Chris Thurman, Tallahassee Fire Department, Florida. Deputy Sheriff Mike Scott Williams, Taylor County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Lieutenant Deborah Clayton, Orlando Police Department, Florida. Firefighter Joseph T. DeMaranis, Claremont Fire Department, Florida. Engineer Daniel J. Falcone, Fort Lauderdale Fire Rescue, Florida. Deputy First Class Norman Lewis, Orange County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Special Agent Jeremy Scott McGuire, United States Department of Homeland Security, Florida. Deputy Sheriff Eric James Oliver, Nassau County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Sergeant George Ramos, Florida Department of Corrections, Florida. Captain Richard V. Sandell Jr., Pompano Beach Fire Rescue, Florida. Firefighter William N. Tolley, Fire Department, New York City, New York. K-9 Forrest with Volusia County Sheriff's Office, Florida.
It's a pleasure to welcome you to the 11th anniversary Brotherhood ride as they depart for a 7-day journey through Florida, honoring 20 fallen heroes who died in the line of duty while protecting their communities. Early this morning, Megan and Jason Contreras read the names of the 531 fallen first responders that have made the supreme sacrifice protecting us. It now is my pleasure to introduce the Collier County Sheriff's Color Guard. Would you all please rise?
Forward! March! Honor guard! Halt! Left! Haste! Freeze and halt!
I would direct your attention to the flagpole behind us, where the firefighters from North Collier Fire will present the colors. Okay, go ahead.
Shoulder. Halt. Right. Face. Forward. Halt.
Let's have a nice round of applause for the Collier County Sheriff's Color Guard. Thank you, brothers. At this time, I'd like to introduce the dignitaries present this morning for our ride. Assistant Chief of Operations from the Fire District, John McMahon. Chief. Tonya Oliver from Bichler, Oliver, Longo, and Fox. Rich Best from Team South Florida. Leslie Ryder from DeAngelis Diamond. And Mr. Laz Suarez from the Florida State Elks. Also, I have Assistant Chief Gene Rogers from South Trail, who was videoing everything. Thank you, Chief. And Chief Matt Scott from Sanibel Fire Department. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Tanya, I'd like to bring you up to say a few remarks, please.
Thank you. And this really isn't about me. This is about Clayton. Clayton's mother was killed in the line of duty on May 3rd, 2014 when he was 3. The Brotherhood rode for him for his mother in 2015. And the Brotherhood's motto is never forget. They have never forgotten Clayton. They honor him and all the fallen firefighters and law enforcement officers every year. And Jeff Morris and the Brotherhood have become like a family to us. I'm proud to be Clayton's parent, and I'm proud to support the Brotherhood ride. Thank you.
And now I'd like Miss Leslie Ryder to come forward. Thank you.
Hi, I work at DeAngelis Diamond Construction in Naples, and on behalf of DeAngelis Diamond, we are extremely honored to be able to contribute to such an amazing cause, our community, and the men and women that we are honoring. Good luck, riders, and safe travels.
Mr. Laz Suarez from Florida State Elks.
Good morning. The Elks are very proud and honored to be part of the Brotherhood Ride. We've been doing this for many years now, and we will continue to support them. It's unfortunate the circumstances why they do the ride, but it's a great honor, and we're very proud to be associated with the Brotherhood Ride. Thank you.
On behalf of the North Collier Fire District, I want to thank everybody for being here today and honoring our men and women, dedicated men and women of the Brotherhood Ride, for taking on the momentous task of honoring our brothers and sisters that have fallen in the state of Florida. You know, for 7 days, these folks are going to be driving around the state honoring these folks, these 20 men and women that passed away, paying the ultimate sacrifice. So it's really an honor for us at North Collier Fire District. We have many of the members that are a part of the support staff or riders themselves. We have our own captain, Jeff Morris, who runs that program. We are so honored that they are part of our organization, and they're representing our organization as they ride throughout the state. Again, this is a special time. We're very appreciative that there are men and women out there still that remember those who have fallen. You know, 17 years ago, we had a terrible tragedy struck this country, and it's very sad that people do not remember 9/11. You know, it's amazing. We hear that famous words, never forget. What's the last word I just said? Forget. So what we need to be saying is, when we say never forget, we always have to say always remember. That's our message that we have to do. So again, on behalf of the North Collier Fire District, we are so proud to be a part of this great group of men and women that give their time and effort, their families. They sacrifice for their families. They sacrifice their bodies. They're going to be out today in 90 to 100 degree temperature, riding for 80 miles. And still, every time Candy posts pictures, they always have a smile on their face when they reach the Elks Lodge. So again, thank you all to the brothers and sisters riding and their support staff. Thank you.
Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the founder of the Brotherhood Ride, Captain Jeff Morse. Jeff.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. As I explained to the team earlier this morning, we've been working with another organization who's like a sister to us, or a brother, I should actually say, a sister organization. And it's Team Florida South. And I'd like to have Rich come up here for a minute and just explain what his group does and how we connected.
It's an absolute honor to be here. Just want to thank everybody from the Brotherhood Ride, the riders, support, Jeff and Candy Morse. My name's Rich Best. I'm from Team South Florida. A couple of years ago, I met Jeff and Candy. They actually came over to the East Coast. Our mission is basically to honor the fallen officers' families, support their agencies however we possibly can. These days, it's tough to do this profession. Law enforcement, fire rescue, EMS, it just at times seems thankless. We are absolutely just amazed and proud of what these men and women do with the Brotherhood Ride. To echo what the chief just said a few minutes ago, we hear all the time at these memorial services and events, we will never forget. And it's thanks to organizations like the Brotherhood Ride that those words are true. It is so incredibly, incredibly important for the families and the agencies to know that there are men and women out there who will never forget. And for that, I just want to thank Jeff and Candy again. I want to thank the support members, and I want to thank the riders. These guys have an incredible, incredible 7 days ahead of them. It's going to be physically and mentally exhausting. But when the times get tough, I want you guys to remember why you're riding. My hope and my prayer is that one of these years we don't have any names on the back of your jerseys, on the back of those shirts. But I thank God and I thank everybody that you guys are out here to honor each and every one of them. So it was very little for us to drive across the state. We have our trailer out here. It's got a list of the names of the fallen law enforcement officers from the previous year. Way too many names on the side of our trailer. I won't take more of your time. I just want to thank everybody out here that is supporting the Brotherhood Ride. They're doing an amazing, amazing job, and we're proud to support them however we possibly can. So thank you.
And I was just told that Clayton didn't get to say something, so I'm going to call Clayton up one more time.
Thank you for everything you do for me, Brotherhood. You are a family to me, and I will never forget you.
When you hear that, it makes the miles so much easier. There's a saying, they've always said, behind every successful man, there's a woman. Well, I don't have that. I do not have that. I have somebody that has been beside me for years while we're doing this. And more importantly, there's times that she's out there taking the lead for me, and I'm just following. So at this time, Candy Morse would like to say a few words.
Hi, everyone. Mainly, I want to just thank everybody for coming out and supporting us. I'm always just so overwhelmed with all the support we get from here and all around the country. We have been so blessed that we've had 11 years now that we're doing this, and to have the support we have. Unfortunately, it's been 11 years. Unfortunately, I'm already working on next year. So we hope that we can get everybody's support still for next year. I want to really thank, we have so many sponsors this year, and if you get a chance to look at our website, it's just been amazing. The year has been just great. Another one I just want to mention is, I don't know if you saw, this is an awesome, from Signed Gypsies. They put this beautiful display here. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate that coming out. So that's great. So I want to thank Guns and Hoses. They've always been there for us. Truly appreciate it. They're there for our fundraising events here. Just love you all. Thank you so much. So thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.
To think what this Brotherhood ride has grown to is amazing. It started out here in 2007. We lost 9 firefighters in Charleston, South Carolina, and that was the very first ride. We rode from here to Charleston, South Carolina. We've always had Houston firefighters with us, and Houston, or I should say the Texas Brotherhood Ride chapter just completed their second ride very successfully. And I'm going to bring up Andy Weigel. Andy Weigel had done 2 rides with us in the past, come down from Florida. He's from Rochester, Massachusetts. Me and his father actually worked together on a volunteer fire department up there. Andy saw what we did for the 2 years he was on the ride, and he decided that he wanted to bring it back to Massachusetts. So Andy started the Southern New England chapter of the Brotherhood Ride, and in August he completed his 4-day ride up there and honored 14 first responders.
As Jeff was saying, I started in 2016 was my first ride here with the Florida chapter. Just after that ride, Jeff came up to Hartford, Connecticut to make a donation to Wyatt Bell. She lost her husband, Kevin, in a structure fire. Meeting with her really hit home as far as me wanting to start a chapter to be able to honor the fallen heroes from my area. I was fighting with myself a little bit, couldn't commit to such a grand undertaking. And then in November, I lost a dear friend, Bob LaValle. He lost his life to occupational cancer from the fire service. And he's the one who pushed me over the edge to start a chapter up in New England. So the Southern New England Brotherhood Ride chapter will cover will honor any line of duty death that is suffered in Massachusetts, Connecticut, or Rhode Island. And as Jeff said, we just completed a 4-day ride throughout Massachusetts and Rhode Island and honored 14 of New England's fallen. And I'd like to thank him and Candy for giving me such a great opportunity to be able to extend the Brotherhood Ride and be able to honor the fallen of New England. So thank you, guys.
So back to our support team. We're going to start with Joyce Amon, Meriden Police Department, retired. Steve Amon, Meriden Police Department, retired.
If you can line up behind the thing.
Christopher Cooper, U.S. Coast Guard, retired. Ron Faircloth, St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. Tracy Fitzpatrick, JetBlue. Ed Hill, St. Lucie County Fire Rescue. Jimmy Jones, Brotherhood Ride Support. Zach Jones, North Collier Fire Rescue. Stacy Justin, Brotherhood Ride Support. Glenn Carnes, Polk County Fire Rescue. Elaine Maddox, Dallas Fire Department. Candy Morse, the South Trail Fire Department. John Niebling, JetBlue. Paul Petzold, Brotherhood Ride Support. Linda Petzold, Brotherhood Ride Support. Lisa Respress, Brotherhood Ride Support. Leslie Ryder, DeAngelis Diamond. John Ruff, South Trail Fire Rescue. Elaine Sheridan, NYPD, retired. Jenna Steller, Brotherhood Ride Support. Laz Zorez, Florida State Elks Association. Debbie Swaggart, Collier County EMS, retired. Georgia Wood, Brotherhood Ride Support. And Stacy Zedek, Indian River County Fire Rescue. This is our support. These are the guys that are going to be taking care of us. And again, we couldn't do it without them. So riders, how about a round of applause for them? Hannah Abel, Martin County Fire Rescue. Josh Outhouse, San Carlos Park Fire Rescue. Mandy Aruda, Boston Fire Department, retired. Jack Bills, North Collier Fire Rescue, retired.
You want him over here?
Yeah, wherever, yeah, sure. Jason Berinsky, Hernando County Fire Rescue. Jack Brush, St. Johns County St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. Excuse me, Jack. Jason Burr, Immokalee Fire Rescue. Erica Costello, Kissimmee Police Department. Jeff Colon, North Collier Fire Rescue. Casey Crow, Florida Forest Service. Tim Elder, Florida Forest Service. Javier Fernandez, Hardy County Fire Rescue. George Fernandez, Orange County Sheriff's Office, retired. John Gazgowski, the South Trail Fire Department. Tom Hellman, Tallahassee Fire Department. Matthew Johnson, Broward County Sheriff's Office. Kevin Katsalaris, Charlotte County Sheriff's Office. Steve Kiefer, Reedy Creek Fire Rescue. Debbie Nupp, St. Lucie County Fire Rescue. Jerry Cromfeld, Estero Fire Rescue. Ralph Longoria, Northport Fire Department. Jeremy Lorenzo, St. Carlos Fire Department. Brian Morgan, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Mark Morgan, Reedy Creek Fire Rescue. Brian Orsine, North Collier Fire Rescue. Matt Palmatier, North Collier Fire Rescue. Jeff Panazzo, North Collier Fire Rescue. Bobby Respress, Hardy County Fire Rescue. Joseph Santos, DeSoto County Sheriff's Office. Elmer Sakuda, Florida Forest Service. Danny Sheridan, FDNY. Andrew Weigel, Rochester Fire Department. Scott Wilson, Greater Neighbors Fire Rescue. Travis Wright, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. And for the very first time, we're proud to announce that the Brotherhood Ride has a family survivor riding with us, and it is Brett. He is riding for his sister, Julie, who was a Hillsborough County Deputy Sheriff that was killed in line of duty last year. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your 2018 Brotherhood Ride team. Out of all the names that we just read, there's another group that's more important than the riders and the support. And those are the 20 names that we're honoring, that we're wearing on the back of our shirts. And those 20 that we're honoring this year are Engineer Jeffrey Atkinson from Tallahassee Fire Department, Police Officer Matthew Scott Baxter from Kissimmee Police Department, Paramedic Paul Bassaro from American Medical Response Ambulance, Master Sergeant William Bishop from the Highway Patrol, Deputy Sheriff Julie Bridges, Hardy County Sheriff's Office, Battalion Chief Mike Cohen from Fort Myers Beach Fire Department, Lieutenant James Franklin Dormany from Reedy Creek Emergency Services, Paramedic Laria Garcia from American Medical Response Ambulance, Correctional Officer Joe Hetty Jr. from Escambia County Department of Corrections, Sergeant Richard Samuel Howard from Kissimmee Police Department, Captain James Jablonski from Polk County Fire Rescue, Officer Joshua Montad from the Florida Department of Agricultural Office of Law Enforcement, Special Agent Ricky O'Donnell from U.S. Department of Federal Bureau of Investigation, Sergeant Joseph Osmond from the Florida Department of Corrections, Deputy Michael Ryan from the Broward County Sheriff's Office, Captain Charles Scavaro from the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Captain Gerald Smith from Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, Firefighter Stephen Terry from Hernando County Fire Rescue, K9 Diesel from Sebastian Police Department, and K9 Freckles from the Florida Department of Corrections. This has been a tough year for all of public safety, including our police officers and our firefighters. Unfortunately, we're already planning next year's ride. and we already have groups of people that will be honored next year. This past couple months have been really hard for the city of Fort Myers. They had a police officer who was shot and killed, and at first he was wounded and spent at least a week in the hospital, and that was Officer Adam Jobbers Miller. Officer Adam Jobbers Miller actually gave hope to a lot of first responders who were in that parking lot as we held our prayer vigils, because we heard he was doing better. We knew he would never come back on the job. We knew he'd probably never get back in a patrol car, but we were all praying for him, and the whole city was just pulling that he was going to make it. And unfortunately, he passed, and it left a big hole in all of the first responder community. And although he will be honored next year by this ride, we will ride in his honor, we will carry his name on his back. We're compelled to make sure that he wasn't forgotten on this ride. And with the help of Soul Shore and Rose and Jason, that have always been phenomenal to this department and every department, they gave every rider and every support a black armband with 524 that we'll proudly wear throughout this day and make sure our brothers at FMPD get them when we're done. So that's Adam Jobbers Miller. We'll wear him proudly and we'll honor him. And again, next year we'll be honoring him with the rest of the team. Again, we can't thank you enough for coming out. It's very emotional to see everybody out here. And I'll tell you, for the first couple of years we did this, as I explained to the crew, we really weren't planning on doing this as a yearly trip. We took care of the Charleston 9, we rode up to Charleston, South Carolina, and we really thought it was going to be a one-time deal, and we weren't back in the city here more than a month, and we lost Andy Widman. And when we lost Andy Widman, we had traveled through Fort Myers to get up to Charleston, South Carolina to take care of the Charleston 9. Fort Myers PD contacted us and said, can you please ride for our officer that we just lost? So of course we said we would. That's what made this a second annual. And we rode, his badge number was 413, we rode around the state 413 miles in his honor. So I always say the Charleston 9 started the Brotherhood ride, and it was Andy Widman who kept the Brotherhood ride going. And unfortunately, we'll always have a ride to do. When I first started, the news would keep asking me, I could sit up here and talk, I could tell you stories, but I could never put anything in writing. I could never explain to the newspaper why we do what we do. So one day I sat down with my little BlackBerry and I punched out all those little numbers and I came up with this, and it's kind of been the motto of our team, and something that we live by on those days when it's hard out there. Why ride to honor those who've fallen in the line of duty? When I heard the news that I had lost one of my brothers, I felt so low. We had never met. I never shook your hand. Our wives did not know each other. Nor did your kids call me uncle. I knew I had lost another brother. You were a total stranger to me, but there was a lump in my throat and a hole in my heart. Why did it bother me so much? Why could my wife tell that I had lost another friend? Why did I feel I needed to show how firefighters, police officers, and emergency responders are all brothers? You had worn the same uniform as mine, that of emergency responder. You took the same oath to protect lives and property, to serve and protect, care for the sick, and you knew that oath was more than just a bunch of words to get on a job. You knew from the day you repeated those words, you'd put your life on the line to save others. You knew that if you had to, you'd risk everything to save someone you had never met. We're not like other workers. We expect to be in danger from the start of our shift until we are relieved by another emergency responder. We will defend and protect anyone who calls us without hesitation. I wonder what you thought as you made the ultimate sacrifice. I can only hope that as you lay in a dark, smoke-filled hallway or on a dark, lonely street, you knew your brothers were coming to get to you. We know they were unable to get to you in time, but rest assured, they finished the job you started. They made your community safe again. So, my brother, I was not able to be with you when you paid the ultimate price. But my brothers and I have come here to honor you. We know what you will say. I was only doing my job. Know you are doing the work of God, and we will apologize to no one for reminding everyone that you gave your life to protect your community. So why do we train so hard to ride for a total stranger? Why do we ride in all kinds of weather? Rain, wind, cold, heat. Why do we sleep wherever we can find an open space on the floor? Why would we do this for a total stranger? We wouldn't, but we will for one of our brothers. We always say never forget, but time moves on and people will forget about that day. Rest assured, we will remind them that there are families and coworkers who still have a hole in their heart that will never be filled. We are not the heroes, but we're proud to wear the names of the heroes on our back for all to see. So stand down, my brother. You have completed your shift. Let our legs carry your memory and remind all who listen, you gave your life for a total stranger. God bless our fallen. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having us. Thank you for being out here. Thank you for your support. It means so much to us. We're actually going to get in the back. We're going to get our bikes ready, and then you'll see the motorcycle escort leave, and we'll be heading out the front if anybody wants to take any pictures. Again, your support means so much to us. I'd also like to thank the crew from Station 45. They had an early wake-up this morning. All the firefighters are going to be out here, I'm sure, helping out, move all these chairs and everything. So the support that we've received from all of our local fire departments and police departments has been amazing. But Station 45 always has a special place for us, and I can't thank those guys enough for everything they do to help us out. Thanks again.
I tell you, it's just not one day. It's year round. I speak to Jeff Morris year round. He follows Clayton. He checks up on Clayton and our family. So while everyone is here today, it's not just a one-day event. It's a yearly event for Jeff and his team following up and keeping track of Clayton.
I feel great because we're offering love and spirit and strength to all the ones who have fallen and showing them how much we care about them. It means a lot to the ones that have fallen that people do this.
This is a family, just like every day in the firehouse, every day when you get in your patrol car, it's family, everybody has each other's back, and it's the same here on the ride.
It's touching. There's really not a lot of words that can explain it, and that's why I do it, to honor them. The pink shorts, I guess that's whenever you fall, you have to wear them till somebody else falls, and then you pass those pink shorts on to the next guy.
Once I joined, I never truly understood how much of a meaning it meant to the families until I started riding.
This ride's just all about the families and showing that you never forget, really, the brotherhood that comes with it.
Those guys laid down their lives, and the least we can do is pedal through some unfortunate circumstances.
It's not for our own fame, it's not because of us, it's for them. Everything we do, every time I walk into an Elks Lodge, somebody gives me a hug, or somebody gives me a kiss, it feels like the hug goes right through me and right to the names on the back, because that's what it's about. It's not about us. It's always about those guys we're wearing on our back. So let's not forget that today.
Brotherhood Riders, are you ready? Ready! 1, 2, 3!
God bless Deputy Michael Ryan.
Okay, good morning, you guys, from Dallas to Naples. And I'm honored and humbled to be a part of your ride, even though I'm a long way away. Just know in heart and spirit that I'm right there with you as you ride. So I wanted to just share a couple of things with you. And this morning, as you begin your ride there this week, Deuteronomy 4:9 says, "Only be careful and watch yourself closely so that you don't forget the things your eyes have seen or let them slip from your heart as long as you live. You make the most of every moment to ride for those you don't know. So when you're old and gray and your riding days are done, and all across this nation, you'll say to your children, grandchildren, these lives mattered. These are our memorials, and I was part of remembering my fallen brothers, part of something that was larger than myself. We thank you that you have called others to come alongside us, not to put their feet to the pedal, but to supply and meet our needs along this journey today and along life's journey. So go with us today as we honor those who gave it all. Fort Myers Beach Battalion Chief Cohen, Broward County Sheriff Deputy Ryan. Lord, I just thank you for the 35 riders who are there for the 25 support people.
Means the world to us that you are celebrating Mike and celebrating Tiffany, and just think of us as riding with you, and we're just absolutely honored that you're doing this for us. Thank you for coming into our home. Consider yourself welcome at any time, but thank you for representing us so well, and we're going to spread the word about this to our community. We're trying to take lots of pictures because the community has been so supportive of our loss, but thank you for making him live on for us. Thank you very much.
Why ride to honor those who fall in the line of duty? When I heard the news that one of my brothers had died, I felt so low. We had never met, I never shook your hands, our wives did not know each other, nor did your kids call me uncle, but I knew I had lost another brother. You were a total stranger to me, but there was a lump in my throat and a hole in my heart. Why did it bother me so much? Why could my wife tell that I lost another friend? Why did I feel I needed to show how firefighters, police officers, and emergency responders are all brothers? You had worn the same uniform in mind, that of an emergency responder. You had taken the same oath to protect lives and property, serve and protect, and care for the sick, and you knew that oath was more than just a bunch of words to get on the job. You knew from the day you repeated those words that you put your life on the line to save others. You knew that if you had to, you'd risk everything to save someone you had never met. We're not like other workers. We expect to be in danger from the start of our shift until we're relieved by another emergency responder. We will defend and protect anyone who calls us without hesitation. I wonder what you thought as you made the ultimate sacrifice. I can only hope that as you laid in a smoke-filled hallway or on a dark, lonely street, you knew that your brothers were coming to get you. We know we're unable to get to you in time, but rest assured, brother, they finished the job you started. They made your community safe again. So my brothers and I were not able to be here when you made the ultimate price. But my brothers and I have come here to honor you. We know what you'll say, I was only doing my job. No, you're doing the work of God, and we'll apologize to no one for reminding everyone that you gave your life to protect your community. Why do we train so hard for a total stranger? Why do we ride in all kinds of different weather? Rain, heat, cold? Why do we sleep wherever we find an open space on the floor? Why would we do this for a total stranger? We won't, but we will for one of our brothers. We always say never forget, but time moves on and people will forget about that day. Rest assured, we'll remind them that there are families and co-workers who still have a hole in their heart that will never be filled. We are not the heroes, but we're proud to wear the names of the heroes on our backs for all to see. So stand down, my brother, you have completed your shift. Let our legs carry your memory and remind all that will listen, you gave your life for a total stranger. God bless Chief Cohen.
Brotherhood Riders, are you ready?
Ready!